Hello, I'm in Rutland, England's smallest historic county, and today we're visiting our first open-air theatre of our tour. It's located on the grounds of a country house that has had its presence here for over 1,000 years. Welcome to Tolethorpe Hall and the Rutland Open-Air Theatre.
Just north of the Lincolnshire town of Stamford, the site was first inhabited around 800 AD. There's no record of when the hall was originally built, although it's assumed to have begun as a small modest manor house during the time of the Norman invasion. Between 1086 and 1967, the hall was lived in and owned by just 4 families. One of those families, the Browns, had an important connection with America. Robert Brown, a founder of the Christian separatist and Brownist groups, was born at the hall. Known as the Brownist emigration, many of his followers of the separatist movement were aboard the Mayflower when they set sail to America in 1620. A full history can be found on the Tolethorpe website. The hall is run and owned by the amateur theatre group, the Stanford Shakespeare Company. They were founded in 1968 by RADA graduate Jean Harley, and originally produced plays in the monastery gardens in Stamford's historic The George Hotel. In 1977, the hotel's parking was extended, losing much of the garden space. As luck would have it, whilst a member of the company was sitting in an estate agent's office trying to find a new venue, the instruction to put Tolethorpe on the market came through. Frantic phone calls and site visits followed, and the company's offer for the hall was eventually accepted, after the discovery of a perfect natural amphitheatre hidden in the grounds. The hall wasn't in the best of shapes. It was unoccupied for 9 years and was battered by the elements. The company also had £78 in their bank, but with generous help from a local businessman, later president of the company Tim Clancy, and also from company members who mortgaged their own houses, the theatre was able to open in time for the 1977 open-air season. Around the hall there are quotes and pictures from Shakespeare plays and pictures from previous productions at the theatre. Old posters from when the company were at the George Hotel and with a much later start time are located in the Fig Tree at Tolethorpe, a new restaurant which was opened in time for the 2024 season. There's also a Tolethorpe tradition of people bringing their own picnics to enjoy the grounds pre-show and during intervals. Ready-made picnic boxes are also available from the Fig Tree at Tolethorpe. There are a couple of bar spaces with some things to keep an eye out for. There was what was believed at the time of installation the only stained glass window in the world depicting 8 Shakespearean scenes. Jean Harley is also immortalised in one of the glass panels. There's also the Tolethorpe tapestry to admire on your way towards the award-winning ladies' toilets. The men's loos have these humorous London Underground and periodic table-style posters of Shakespeare works. Producing all their shows in-house, the rooms around Tolethorpe are departmentalised to provide all the elements in creating a show. There is a large costume department with a huge variety of modern and classical costumes. There's also a separate wig room, hat room, fabric room, prop room, and also a secret armoury. The gardens and grounds were landscaped in their present form in 1867. However, when the company acquired the property in 1977, it had completely overgrown. Their underlying structure, however, was intact, and the grounds have been fully restored to their 19th century glory. For our price comparison, ice creams are provided by Criterion and cost £3.50. Ticket prices start from £15.50 and there are concession rates also. 1993 was a big year for the company. By June, they'd paid off all their debts and owned the hall and grounds outright. The theatre was also rebuilt and was officially opened by Sam Wanamaker, who was responsible for the reconstruction of Shakespeare's Globe in Southwark. The theatre houses 600 seats on a raked audience bank. The seats are permanently covered by a canopy that can withstand winds up to 100 miles an hour. It is a similar material and design as used on the Millennium Dome, now the O2 Arena in London. Due to the nature of open-air performing, the company run a summer 3-month season. A full 3D view of the seating plan, theatre and grounds can be found on the Tolethorpe website. The tech desk and director's box can be found at the back of the theatre. The staging incorporates the gardens into the space with entrances and exits through the trees of the grounds. There are 2 small dressing rooms by the side of the stage, with other dressing rooms in the hall itself. The sets used for production are made in-house, with a large workshop space to the far stage right of the theatre. As with other outdoor theatre spaces, the set designers have come up with innovative ways to highlight the passing of time. Grand sets and even revolving doors have been made over the years. And although it's an outdoor theatre, there's also a substage area where there's access to 2 trap doors. The company has a unique tradition at the end of its shows, in the fact that there are no curtain calls. Jean Harley led the initiative, in her belief that the applause at the end of the show should not just be for the actors on stage, but for the entire unseen company of people who worked hard and gave generously of their time and expertise, making each show possible. And that brings us to the end of our tour.
I hope you've enjoyed your tour of Tolethorpe Hall and the Rutland Open Air Theatre today. If you're ever in Stamford or Rutland, make sure you come on down, see a show and support your local theatre. My huge thanks to David and everyone at Tolethorpe for showing me around today. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe as we get to explore more theatres around the UK. And my next question to you is, which theatre should I visit next? Let me know in the comments below. I'm David Burchhardt, and I'll see you on the next stage.